Hi there, today I'm reviewing a Bosch induction hob, model number PIN651F17E, which is a 60cm black hob. Before I start, I should just say that you need to make sure you've got the correct pots and pans that will work on this hob. The induction works with a magnetic field underneath, which when the correct pan is placed on the plate, the magnetic field activates. So, easy way to check is if a magnet was attached to the bottom of your pan, then it will be fine on the induction hob. If not, unfortunately, it's new pans. This particular one has a flexi zone, which means that you can use all of this for one large item, such as this casserole dish, which wouldn't normally be able to fit on a usual round plate. It can fit anywhere along here, and you can move it around as well whilst you're using it. This flexi zone can also be used independently, so you can use it all as one, or you can use it as two separate zones, and also it's then got this plate and this plate as well. So I'll start by turning it on. Along here, click first of all to turn it on, and then I'm going to select this first flexi zone. So I'm going to click there and click flex. That is now activated. Nothing happens though until I put my pan on it. I'm just now going to show you how quickly it will boil some water. This is cold water, I just got it out of the tap, and it's half a litre of it. Whoops, I'm just going to stick it in there. I'm going to put it up to 9 on here, and I'm going to put boost. And this you'll be able to hear it clicking, that's quite normal, and hearing some slight clicking now, and this will now start to boil really quite rapidly. Other advantage of the induction hob is that underneath you can see it already starting to boil. It boils quicker than the kettle would boil. Underneath heats up, but nothing around heats up. So this water just spilled, that's not hot in any way whatsoever. I can just quickly wipe it off. So that's coming to the boil now, which is, you can see, it's coming to the boil really nice and quickly. If I put the lid on, it would be boiling even quicker. So that kind of shows you, that's with the boost, how quickly that will work. There's also a child lock on here, which you can press to make sure no little fingers get there. There we are, that's now locked. No kids can come along and they can't press anything and get the plates working. I don't need that on, so I could turn that off. Let me just turn that one off a minute, so we don't really know. It's virtually boiling now, as you can see, so it's really fast. Let me just turn that plate off there. There's also a timer. Sorry, I've turned that off now. There's also a timer here, which the timer will work independently of the hob. So you don't need to have the hob on. If you wanted to time something else, you could just use this timer and it would just count down. Also though, if I did have something on here that I wanted to cook for half an hour, I could set this timer and it would stop and the cooking would finish after half an hour. So these two obviously can be used, you can use those separately, and although it does show a large ring, if you put a small pan on, it will only heat just the amount that it's using. So it's really good and economical from that point of view. And as I said, it's also very easy to clean, and that's just been on boost. I wouldn't necessarily advise it, I'm just showing for this exercise, but I can put my hand on that and that's been boiling hot water. It's warm, but it wouldn't burn me, unlike an ordinary one would. All in all, it's really a lovely hob. I would say that once it does take a little bit of getting used to, because you've got to switch between, if I wanted that plate and this plate, I then would have to select this plate and then set the heat on this plate, and then go back to that plate and set the heat on that plate. But you soon get used to it after a few times. Slight disadvantage perhaps until you get used to it is that things cook a lot quicker. So ordinarily I might have a sauce that I'm making on here, and I would leave it for 30 minutes with the lid on. Then that would have boiled dry on this new hob. So you have to keep your eye on it a little bit more. But so it's got so many advantages, and it's really lovely, and I'm very pleased we've got it. So just to confirm, that is the Bosch PIN651F17E induction hob.